Good morning, everybody. What's going on? It is your friend James Shaw. It is 7:58 Eastern. Good to see you. We're back and better than ever in Safety Harbor, and I'm happy to be home. I made it out before the cancellation started last night from Minneapolis. It was so great to see all the wonderful leaders and agents in Minneapolis over the last couple of days at the ALC clinic. Good time had by all. And now we're back home and we're getting ready for Advance. So Advance is our annual business planning event. It's in Tampa this year. About 400 of you are making your way down to Tampa Bay. You're battling confusing flight situations, but it'll work out. And then we're going to have near record cold weather while you're here on Monday night into Tuesday. It's going to feel like Minnesota. So it'll be great. I'm glad you're coming. We're having a great couple of days. A great couple of days strategizing about the new year, talking about goals, getting kind of clarity about what it is that's important to us. And I'm really excited about this event. And I'm thankful to those of you that are coming. If you're not coming and want to try to get in, there might be a couple of seats that open in the next day or two. You can email Nadine at jamesdshaw.com. Nadine at jamesdshaw.com, and she'll let you know if there's a seat. All right, we're going to do something goods. And I just got so excited today when I saw that Ro Coleman was on the call. I saw her name pop up. Ro, you were on my mind yesterday. I was thinking about you. And here she is today with her hands up. So, Ro, you go first. Good morning.
I honestly just wanted to hear you say my name. Um, but no, I am grateful for this community, although, I'm not on camera that much and I'm usually lurking in the background. Y'all really have been like joy for me in a time of sorrow. And so I just, although you may not see me, I am behind the scenes looking on those moments when I need encouragement. I love everything that I see Julia making James do. It makes me laugh. And just seeing all y'all and your different personalities and your different things. So I just wanted to say how grateful I am. I know that when I first got introduced to this community, I was like, dude, I am not coming on an eight o'clock
Dude.
call. Dude, I'm not doing it. And that 8 o'clock turned into 7:30, that turned into 6:30 with early bird. So I just wanted to come and express my gratitude and say thanks. Love y'all much. That's it.
We love you too, Ro. Glad you're here. Good to see you. All right, Jessica, you get the last one. Jessica Ebanks, good morning.
Good morning. So my something good is I decided to do blessing baskets this year for the first time. And I did a video to kind of announce it on Halloween. And my kids decided to help, which was not a ton of, it didn't seem like it was going to be much help at the time. But I got 500 views in the first 2 days, which was huge for me. I mean, when I did like my baby announcements, I got 60 views. So this was like awesome. And people are just jumping in like left and right in my church, all kinds of different people. My goal was 10 baskets, and I think it's going to be way more than that. So I am just so thrilled at how the Lord is using this. And I'm so grateful to all of you and to Ellie McIntyre and to you, James, for just letting me run my business in a way that is exciting to me and in a way that I enjoy.
I'm so happy for you on that. Congratulations. Got to feel real good. And whether it's 10 baskets or 100 baskets or whatever, you're impacting your community, which is the point of that. And you're right. Thanks to Ellie McIntyre for teaching it to us. I'm putting the link in the chat for anybody who's would like to run that play, the blessing baskets, and it's built around the idea that it happens around Thanksgiving and it can be done any time of the year. So if you'd like to pull it off too, it's blessingbaskets.jamesdshaw.com. Blessingbaskets.jamesdshaw.com. All right, so we have spent the whole week talking about getting back to the basics because I don't know, it was last week I posted that the reason why we get behind or don't hit the goal or things don't work out the way we want is really because we have an unwillingness to follow and master the basics. And so then Ashley Bearden said, well, James, instead of dropping one-liners, why don't you tell us what the basics are, you loser? And so I said, all right, I'll come up with 5 basics. Now, they're not probably the 5 basics that you're used to, but these are the ones that when I thought about it, I said, I think these are the 5 basics. On Monday, we covered create a goal that has purpose and meaning. On Tuesday, we did build a process to reach that goal. On Wednesday, we talked about building and communicating with your database. On Thursday, we said you got to track your numbers. And today, it's about adding value in every single transaction. Now, if you missed any of them this week, you can go back and listen. Everything is in the podcast. You can go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, wherever you go for your podcast, and search Pivot Shift Ahead, and you'll be able to find the recordings of all 4. And then you're on this one, so you can hear this one. It's about adding value in every transaction. Now, if you listen to the MREA podcast that I did, I don't know, a month or so ago, maybe, and I was talking with Jason Abrams about this, and I said, if we want to get our business to reach its maximum opportunity and hit our potential, we got to go all in on database, and we have to communicate with it consistently, and we have to be valuable in the way we communicate with it. In other words, the communication that we do can't just be throwaway stuff. There's got to be purpose behind it. There's got to be value. I said, when we're consistent and not valuable, we're annoying. Consistency without value is annoying. And that is hi, this is Sally, and I help people from NAR who need health insurance. Like, they're very consistent in that, but it's pretty annoying. In fact, if anyone from NAR is listening to the podcast, will you please make it stop? But anyway, the point is that if we can be consistent, but low value means it's just annoying and they unsubscribe, block, don't want to talk to you, not interested, whatever. I don't think most of you have that problem. I do think you have touches that are low value, but you're not so overly top consistent with it that it's probably not having much of an impact at all. I think where most of you fall is the other side of that. Value without consistency is anonymous. You might do a handful of touches throughout the year that are pretty high value. You give them an equity analysis once a year, you send them the baseball schedule magnet, you send them the football schedule magnet, and you invite them to your Pi Day. Like, that's great. Those are all valuable things. But that's only 4 things over 52 weeks. It's just not enough touches. Maybe you skip the phone call, don't send the text, don't do the handwritten note, don't do those other pieces. And so because it's not consistent, while the value is really high, the consistency is low, and so they can't remember who you are. And I think about this with my mom the other day. She said, James, are you in town? Oh my gosh, that triggers. When I get a text that says, James, are you in town? Jim Barber, it triggers me because I'm like, I got to go fix her remote. She needs me to come over to her house and fix her remote. And so sometimes I just say, no, I'm not in town, even if I'm in town. And it's okay. My mom doesn't listen to the podcast, so it's okay. No, it's not true. If I'm in town, I tell her. If I'm not in town, I don't. But my mom was like, I need an electrician. Do you have an electrician? And I said, I do have an electrician. Well, who is it? I said, I have no idea, and I can't tell you because I'm out of town. But his card, I taped it to the electrical panel so that if I need him, all I have to do is go to the garage, look at the panel, and I can call. And I love this electrician. This dude is awesome. But I haven't heard from him since the day I paid him to do the work that he did at the house. I just enjoyed working with him so much. I'm like, I cannot forget who this guy is. So I taped his number to the thing, but I had to go find it. I couldn't tell my mom who it was. I don't want that to be you, and I think it probably is. I think there's plenty of times that someone's like, hey, do you have an agent? You're like, yeah, oh my gosh, that person we use, and they always send me the football schedule, but they don't remember. See, it's not about who follows up the most, and it's not about who provides the most value. It's about both. The person who follows up the most and provides the most value is the one who gets the opportunity. So think about, are your touches valuable? Just listed, just sold, low value. Stop sending them. Your database doesn't care. They want to be educated. I think your database wants to be educated versus sold. So when you educate, you win. People want to feel helped, not hunted. So that way they can remember you when it's time for them to sell. Each touch you give should make things easier or better, or they raise their knowledge. They make things a little bit more clear. We have to think about what value is. Market updates that interpret what's going on in the market is value, but just splashing some numbers is not. Advice that reduces anxiety and simplifies decisions, that's value. Personal touches that show that you care about them as a person and that they're more than just a transaction, that's value. And that's why we've been doing the database challenge, database gratitude challenge this month. for that reason purposely, that you can show that you see them as a person and someone you care about and not just a transaction. I think was yesterday handwritten note day, and I think today is drop by a drop a little gift off with a vendor partner day. So stand out and serve. There was a question that came up yesterday inside a pivot that says, how do I share with people that if they give me a referral, I'll give them a gift without it feeling like a bribe? And I'm like, you can't. You can't. It is a bribe, and it might not even be legal depending on where you are. So, but what you can do is give people a gift because you want to. Because randomly you thought of somebody. But we have to remember this, that the value game is a long game. It's something that's going to take time to pay off because it takes time to build relationships. You build equity in that relationship through adding value. And you won't see the return immediately, which is when you'll start to question, well, is this working? Are my notes working? Are my events working? Are the equity analysis working? Are these things working? Because it doesn't work immediately, it compounds. But I'll tell you what, if you become an agent that starts to play the long game instead of playing for the short wins, I think you'll come out ahead. Let's talk about adding value. And Janine, we haven't heard from you this week, so we're going to start with you first on this one. Janine Garcia, good morning. You're great at this.
Good morning. So, adding value, and leveraging it. So what we did was we created a report for the client on Monday after the house hit the market, and which, we did not have more than one showing. At the open house, one party came in, the next day one party came in, and what we did was we looked at all the views that we had online. We did the Zillow, the Redfin, the Realtor.com. The ratio of how many emails that we blasted out were opened. So we did an entire report to the client and said, look, this is what, not necessarily because people are not showing up, they're not talking. What they're saying is that, they don't want to come because they don't see the value of the property. So after all those reports that we did for both listings that hit the market this past week, we received an offer on yesterday, last night, after we changed all the flights. We're like, okay, whatever, it's quite slow, we're leaving tomorrow. Well, guess what? We received an offer, we negotiated, and then the client goes, but you said that the property stays on the market for at least 30 days, these properties. And I said, you know what? If you looked at your report, people are talking. People are saying, I'm not going to see your house because I don't find the value. So this one, it would only take one to go under contract. So we better accept this one. And we did. And it was because we provided the value of what the market was saying online. That's it.
Great job. Thank you. Lee Corey, you're next. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm in your beautiful city here, downtown
welcome.
Tampa. Yes, Ellie and I did the river walk this morning, and I didn't recognize where we were because it was light out. It was so cool. Anywho, um, we do touch our, no, we don't touch them. We keep in touch with our people regularly. And one of the things that we did this year that was different is we do a quarterly event where it's seasonal, where we give something away. Like in the spring, we gave a spring cleaning. In the summer, we gave, I don't know what we gave. In the winter, in the fall, we gave a fire pit. In the fall. In the winter, we're giving a $250 gift card. So we give this to everybody that's in our world, in our command. But not only that, the other thing, when you mentioned the electrician and the card, we now started Coffee and Connection. And we are inviting vendors in our world to meet with us on a quarterly basis. And we're helping them learn how to keep in touch with their clients and build their business, which I think these tradespeople just don't know how to do it.
Yep.
You know, they don't. So we're giving to them to build their business in hopes that they're going to remember us when they hear about people in their worlds that are looking to buy or sell.
The 5 basics that we've covered this week would work for anybody. This is not real estate specifically, and you can go and add that value to them. Man, they grow their business. You get the credit for that. That's great value. And now you have referral partner. It's really smart. Lee, welcome to Tampa Bay. Glad you're here. Stephanie Edison, you're next. Just trying to get people in we haven't heard from this week, and then I'll circle back. Go ahead, Steph.
Hi guys, good morning from West Palm Beach. So community has been the #1 thing that's built my business. And James, I'll have to find it later, but I think maybe 5 years ago, I sent you an email and asked something along the lines of, if I loved on my people in this particular way, I think maybe it was like a 96 touch or something, how many people would I have to love on to meet my goals? And I know you said it would be this many people and it would take this many years. And I may have even included in the email that it's not going to include making phone calls because I don't make phone calls. But I started out networking about 5 to 6 years ago. And in that time, it has blossomed into me running my own networking group called Hustle and Heart. And I host masterminds for female entrepreneurs that are very beneficial for them once a month. And we actually had a member who 5 years ago, she joined and she was making homemade stuffed cookies. And she just wanted to get her cookie into a Whole Foods. And she was like, I don't even know how to get my foot in the door. You know, I go there, I can't get in front of anybody. And 5 years later, her cookies are now in every single Whole Foods in Florida. So it has just been amazing to add value back into that group. And it's really like a giant CEO mastermind. And the way that the people in that group rely on it for help. And now it blows my mind because when someone's looking for a realtor in one of our local groups, I'm the one that everybody tags. And for the last 5 years, I've just been trying to beat my 2020. And this year I have beat it, and it has been my best year in real estate ever. I have 4 closings this month, and I took 3 listings this week. And it has just been truly something amazing.
Stephanie, you're proving that it works. So when you sent me that, I just break down the math. You're like, here's how many people. So how many transactions are there? It's a 3 to 5 year plan, by the way, to get to that number, which is exactly what you've proven. You do not have to make phone calls. Probably 5 years ago, I told you you did, but you don't have to make phone calls. You can text, you can DM, you can be in person, you can do whatever you want. And then find some way to add value to your people. We're going to do the exercise that I did with Steph via email 5 years ago. We're doing it in advance on Monday. So we'll do that so you know what your number is. And then your networking thing reminds me of a Wednesday webinar we did with Leah Jost. She's got the lunches with the business owners, the female business owners in Cincinnati. You're doing something similar. We need to probably do a Wednesday webinar with you on it, Steph, to talk about what you're doing. But folks, there is so much opportunity when you put the community first and you add value to them and you figure out how you can help them. Everything will come true. But listen, it's a long game, right, Stephanie? It didn't happen overnight.
Yes.
It's taken some time.
Yeah, but it's worth it. And it's the best kind of business because it's just people that already want to work with you.
You're coming to Advance, right?
Of course, I wouldn't miss
They're going to
it.
come find you. They're going to come find you, and they're going to want to know all the deets on everything that
That's
you
good.
did. So,
I'll be there.
all right, sounds good. I appreciate you so much. We're having some great shares today, which is awesome. Bonnie, you want to go next? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thank you so much for letting me share. Kind of like our last two, I think for me, the value has come from really driving connection. So I've been very intentional about networking opportunities.
Let me wake you up.
Just a minute.
It's
Just a minute.
okay.
Just a minute. All right, can you come back off of mute, Bonnie?
Yeah, thank you. So I have been doing a few networking events. Community has been my touch word this year. And so I started Table Builders with Alice Daly at the beginning of the year, and that has been so transformative to me. I host one every other month. It is not about real estate. It is not about networking. It is about creating deep connections with people in my community. And we are getting business from it, not because we're asking, but because we're bringing people together. And it's bringing new people into our sphere, into my world that I wouldn't have known otherwise, because people are inviting people. So that has been hugely transformative and just on a personal level, so fulfilling that it helps fill my cup for when I need to go back out and pour into other people. And then I've also been hosting what we call Real Talk twice a month for local agents of all brokerages. We get together at a coffee shop, so we're supporting a local coffee shop, and we invite affiliates. This week we had 2 lenders, we had a photographer, and we had an appliance repair guy. And so we all get together, we talk about the market. I'm kind of, following your format. I ask a question that kind of grounds the group for the conversation, and I'm just pouring into them. And what I have found has been really surprising is that I'm actually getting business from that group. There are new agents that maybe don't feel as comfortable doing a listing that are asking me to partner. There are, agents that, have friends who are from another area that want to work with us. So our business this year has been so surprising. We've got almost 20% of our business this year has been through referrals. And a lot of them have come from Inspire, a lot of them have come from Pivot, and that's one of our biggest networking groups, obviously. But the number of local and semi-local people that are, that we're finding opportunities to work together and share has been so enlightening and inspiring for me. So
It's great, Cher. And we've heard now back-to-back people talk about they're using networking and stuff. That doesn't have to be your value. Like, you can figure out how do you add value to your people. And I would just stop with this. Before you send your newsletter, read through it and ask the question, is this valuable to someone who is interested in buying and selling and someone who isn't? Like, is there value for both? Another one is anticipate. Let's anticipate the challenges or concerns they might have. I attempted to do that yesterday. I know there's a lot of you that are very nervous about the travel situation. It's a very small percentage of flights that are going to be canceled. Like poor Carrie Dobo, literally 1 flight canceled between Atlanta and Tampa today, and it's hers. But like the other 12 are going. So I was thinking, what can I do to add value to the community coming to Advance by anticipating what's going on? And so on my flight home, I just wrote out an email with some ideas and resources. So that's value. I just think about, how can I anticipate? How can I solve? What can I do to educate or create opportunity? Any of those things work. I challenge you to think about that this week. All right, those of you making your way to Tampa, we will see you on Monday morning. We open the registration at 7 a.m. Doors to the event open at 8. The event starts promptly at 9. It's going to be awesome. Those of you not coming, we will see you back here on Wednesday. We have no call Monday or Tuesday. We'll be back and better than ever on Wednesday. Thank you for being here. You got your inspiration. Go put in the perspiration. Have a good weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Jane.